Okay, so this is just a quick explanation on surds. Now, a surd is basically, it is an irrational number. So an irrational number is a number that goes on forever and ever after the decimal point and doesn't repeat or doesn't recur. Okay, so for example, 0.3, that's a rational number, as is 2/3. Even any reoccurring decimal is rational. Any rational number can be written in the form of a fraction. So basically we're written in form as a over b, and a and b are integers. Okay, so the things that are rational that you've already come across is like pi. There's also a thing called an e function, like an e to the power of 1, which is 2.7, and then it's got like a number of decimal places afterwards. You've also got like root 2, root 3. You put those into your calculator and you'll see they're going forever after the decimal point. They don't stop, they don't repeat, there's no pattern in them, and they're called irrational. Okay, so basically it's just like, we have our real number system and we have an unreal number system, which you have hardly looked into yet. But with the real number system, you have irrational numbers and you have rational numbers. So in order to, so we don't only look at part of our number system which you've been in, which is the rational, we also need to look at the irrational numbers, which are basically surds. Surds enable us to write things in exact form. So not rounded off, not as a decimal, but like just exactly like as root 2, which is really important in measurement, especially when you're building stuff to precision. Okay, so you need to be able to, first of all, you need to be able to simplify the surd, and that's what I'm just going to do here. So say you needed to simplify root 2. So basically what you do, you need to find the square number that goes, so root 8, that goes into root 8, into 8. And if you think about that, 4 times 2 is 8, and the square number is 4. So you always write the square number first, so it's root 4 times root 2, which becomes, so the square root of 4 is 2, and then it's just root 2, so it's 2 root 2. So say we have root 18, so the square number that goes into 18 is 9. 9 times 2, which is root 9 times root 2, which is 3 times root 2, so 3 root 2. Let's look at root 27. Root 27, that would be root 9 times root 3. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 root 3. There, you're simplified. So now here we go. We've got, if we want to simplify a surd, if it's something that's like really big, like 98, and you're trying to find the square number, you can't find it, there is a system of doing this. Basically, when you look at the surds, can you see they often end up to be 2 or 3, maybe they're 5. So what you could do if you can't think of anything, you start by dividing by 2, and then you divide by 3. Don't do 4, because 4 is a square number. Then you divide by 5, and then by 6, etc. Anything that doesn't have a square number in it, and eventually you will find something that is square. So if you did 98 divided by 2, you see you get 49, which is square. So you go root 49 times root 2. Do you notice I always write the square number first? That's because you can always simplify that further. The square root of 49 is 7, so then you end up with 7 root 2. Alright, so have a look at some of these and just see if you can do them in your book and see how you go. So just simplify some of these. We've got root 12, root 72, root 24, root 32. Okay, so have a look at those. Alright, so if we start with root 12, let's get 12 and we're going to divide by 2, that's 6. No, 12 divided by 3 is 4. Yay, I have my square number. So you write it as root 4 times root 3. Notice once again, I always write my square first. That would be 2 times root 3, which is 2 root 3. Okay, 72. So get the 72 divided by 2, 36. So I lucked out there, so it's root 36 times root 2. Root 36 is 6 times root 2, which is 6 root 2. 24 is root 4 times root 6. Because 4 6s are 24. So it's going to be 2 times root 6, which is 2 root 6. 32, okay, let's divide by 2, you get 16. So that's root 16 times root 2, which is going to be the square root of 16 is 4. So it's going to be 4 root 2. Okay, so to simplify, so it's very similar to algebra. Like if you have 2a times 2b, you just do 2 times 2 is 4, and a times b is ab. That's due to the fact that it doesn't matter when you've got times, it doesn't matter what order you do it in. They do that, and so you do the numbers together, and then you do the letters together. Now, if you have, say, 3 root 2 times 2 root 3, see that would be 6 root 6. You just do number times number, surd times surd. So if you're asked to simplify anything, where you have a surd outside the front, say 6 root 40, and you're trying to find the square number that goes into 40. So let's divide by 2, that's 20, that's not going to work. What about 4 times 10? That's looking good. So that the symbol in between the 6 and the square root that is in there is actually a times, and then it's times root 4 times root 10. So just simplifying the root 4 part, you end up with 6 times 2 times root 10. 6 2s are 12, so then you've got 12 root 10.